Welcome back to the Off Base Sports Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Jason Benicki, and I am joined by
Todd.
One of these days, Todd's going to actually sound excited to be here instead of like he's being held at gunpoint.
Well, if you dropped the gun, maybe I could.
Well, let's not get crazy now. Need to keep you here. But anyways, please subscribe, rate, and review. We're on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud. Not SoundCloud. I don't know why I say that. Spotify, Stitcher, CastBox, Satchel. Pretty much any podcast app out there except for SoundCloud.
What do you get in SoundCloud?
They charge me extra money to be on there. I'm not paying extra money. I already spend money on this. I'm not spending even more money.
Okay.
That would be preposterous. But like the Facebook page, Off Base Sports Podcast, we're on Twitter, Instagram. We're always out there. So give it a like. You can find us on YouTube. It's on my personal channel, JASONBANICKI. It's my personal Twitter and Instagram as well. So like and follow those. Don't know if you've been checking out the last few episodes, but I think you're starting to notice a developing pattern of us starting with top 10 lists. I think we're going to stick with that again this week. So we're going to start with our top 10 football movies. And in honor of Todd receiving back-to-back beatdowns, it's going to be the Buffalo Bills of movie list making.
Incorrect.
We're going to let him start first again. So what's your number 10, Todd?
Number 10 is The Replacements.
Okay. I have it a little higher. I've got it at number 7, but can't argue with it being on there. Great movie. Loosely based on a historical event. I mean, very loosely based. Good movie. I think it's entertaining. It's what you look for in a movie. I wouldn't, it's not a great piece of cinema per se. But when you look at a lot of the football movies, I don't think most of them would qualify as good cinema. So
I say it's funny, it's lighthearted, and
it's got Keanu Reeves. What more do you need in a movie?
And it's a dishonored Ohio State quarterback too for me.
So yeah, no, I don't have any issue with that at all. Like I said, I've got it a little higher. Like I said, it makes me laugh. I still watch it. It's always my criteria is do I enjoy it? Will I watch it again and again and again? My number 10 though is Little Giants.
Okay.
I think I wore out probably 2 VHSs worth of that when I was younger. Really enjoyed it. It was quirky. It was funny. It was little guys, scrappy little underachievers that nobody wanted against the big guys. Yeah, what more can you want? Quite literally the metaphorical Little Giants. All about it.
Not on my list. Not in my mentions. Don't even believe I've ever seen that one.
That is an embarrassment. You should be banished until you watch it. This is an automatic win for me again. This is 3 straight beatdowns for Todd. Never seen Little Giants? I mean, I could be like, well, it's in my honorable mentions. It probably wasn't my top 10 because there's some of my honorable mentions I probably could put over it. But, I mean, to me, it means that much. It was when I was young and, it was just the right age at the right time for the right movie. And how you didn't see it, well, it's unforgivable.
I'll put it this way.
Your parents
maybe I have seen it. I just don't remember it.
That would be even more of an indictment of you if you've seen it and don't remember it. Movie's that good. Number 9.
Friday Night Lights.
Didn't even make my honorable mentions.
Well, we had that conversation before. You've never seen it or the TV show. I had a strong feeling but I like the movie.
Fair enough. To me, it's another one of those, it tried to take itself too seriously kind of football movies. I don't typically get into the drama-esque football movies. Now, there's a couple, but not that forged fake drama. No, not my kind of football movie.
Okay.
My number 9 is We Are Marshall. This got to be probably underrated by me just because I wasn't sure where I was going to put it, and didn't want to spend too much time tinkering with my list. I mean, obviously, it's based on a historical event. It is very factual. It is an amazing movie. It's got Mark Wahlberg. I think. No, not Mark Wahlberg.
It's got the actor.
All right. Yeah, Matthew McConaughey. That's who it's got. Anyway, this is a great movie. I really enjoyed it, and, it really covered an important story in college football.
We'll see it a little higher on my list.
Okay. Well, you can tell us where it's at now. You don't have to.
I have it at 7.
Okay. So, again, we can skip 7 now, because your 7's We Are Marshall, my 7's The Replacements. We've covered 7. So, you're number 8 then.
Brian's Song.
Made my honorable mentions. I mean, it's, again, another true story. It's a great movie. Undoubtedly a great movie. Little sad.
A little sad, but again, being a big Bears fan,
I mean, again, I'm not going to say it's a bad movie. It's very worthy of a number 8 spot.
you'd be kind of heartless if you called it a bad movie.
I mean, you could call it a bad movie. There are people who do not like sad movies at all and would call it a bad movie. That's okay.
You'd still be heartless.
You would be. My number 8 is Rudy, though.
Okay.
It's probably a little surprising for anybody that knows me as a Notre Dame fan, but the movie's a little overdone. It's a little sappy. It's a little forced dramatic. I also know people who know the real Rudy. Plus, he's just an asshole in real life. Turns out he's a con artist in real life. Not necessarily the guy who should have this great inspirational story, no matter how good or how bad his song is, or his story is, not song. So that's all.
But see, you got to take that part away from the movie. Just that has nothing to do with the movie.
No, I can put it in there. I absolutely can. If you're going to cover a real person, if it's a fictitious story, great. It's still a great fictitious story. And if it was fictitious, it's probably higher. Okay. But because it's real, then I can bring in the real elements to. Yeah, I'm leaving it at 8.
Okay. I'll argue that one because I have that a lot higher.
What do you have it at?
Deuce.
Wow, that's really high. My number 2, I probably would move down further, but yeah, in retrospect, I'm leaving it there. I'm okay with that because again, I already won this list. It's all right. I don't have to justify any others. So our number 7s again were We Are Marshall and The Replacements. Number 6.
Water sucks. Waterboy.
Made my honorable mentions. It's actually probably one of the more football-filled movies out of any of these movies. However, the football in it is so preposterous that it's funny. I enjoy it. It's an honorable mention, not a number 6 all-time football movie. My number 6, and again, this is one. These next 6, I could probably 5 of the next 6 I could rank in any order. Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
It relates a lot to football today. Amazingly enough, you have probably even more to football today than when it came out. In terms of old coaches having to learn to adapt to new quarterbacks, how that dynamic works, how that relationship works. Even more so if you want to look at a team like the Ravens. I mean, it was almost the exact scenario they had to deal with this year. Then you have your veteran quarterback coming back, you're trusted and true, and then you're like, I got to stick with the guy who got us here. Plus, it's just really good.
Well, I agree.
If you don't, at least at some point in time in your life, use that speech that Tony gives at halftime, by the way, inch by inch, I don't know if you're even a human being.
I have it a little higher. As you said, you can have it up there. I have it as number 4 on my list.
That's fine. Yeah, that works. I mean, again, I said my next 5 I could probably rearrange. What's your number 5?
Number 5, Varsity Blue.
I got that at 4. So, we're right in that same ballpark. It's a good football movie. Jim Bob and then a tweeter make the whole movie. A stripper teacher.
Stripper teacher, the bikini, the whipped cream bikini. I mean, it's just all great football. And I can believe every bit of that movie in Texas.
Oh, 100% could see all of that happening. Every bit of it. Great actors, great movie. I mean, you can go through most of those actors, and they've almost all went on to do other big things since then. Fantastic. Yeah. My number 5 is Gridiron Gang.
Okay.
Again, like I said, these next 5 I could have probably rearranged. Great story. Again, another based on a true story. Tells a great story. What more do you have to say? Guys turn their back on their gangs and all of this stuff.
I don't have it on my list, but
did you at least make your honorable mention? Oh yeah, you got drubbed in this then. Drubbed. Capital beatdown. This is like Bulls Warriors territory right now. That's how bad this beatdown is.
Except I'm the Warriors.
No. You've missed Little Giants and Gridiron Gang. Like you lose.
Well, again, as I said, my number 4 is Any Given Sunday.
Mine was Varsity Blues, so we got on to number 3.
Show me the money! Jerry Maguire.
Amazingly enough.
Straight cash, homie.
Yeah, I had the exact same spot on mine, by the way. Jerry Maguire, number 3. Entertaining football movie. If you don't enjoy it, I don't know what to do with you as a human being. matter of fact, if you don't use Show Me the Money at least once a year in your life right now, at least once, you should tell somebody, show me the money. I think you get dismissed. Again, you're not living life right, and you shouldn't be here at all. I have a hunch our number 2s are going to be the same in our number 1s as well.
Well, I already told you what my number 2 is.
What was it?
My number 2 was Rudy.
You missed... You didn't have this movie on your list either. Now, I probably bumped it up a little higher for my list because I put both versions of it into one. That way you could pick your version, and I went with The Longest Yard. It's
in my honorable mentions.
Fair enough.
The second version of it brought it down for me. I was not a fan of the second remake of that thing.
I enjoyed the remake just as much as I enjoyed the original. I enjoyed them for very different reasons, but they were still very good football movies. Told a very good story. And, of course, you sneak Burt Reynolds into both. You get bonus points for that. Anytime you can sneak that mustache into movies, you earn bonus points. And if your number 1's not Remember the Titans, you can leave this house right now and never come back and don't need to be on this podcast ever again because there is no redeeming quality in you if you don't think Remember the Titans is the greatest football movie ever made. So what's your number 1?
I refuse to say. No, it's Remember the Titans. I mean,
it's a no doubter. There are some lists that you can debate the number 1. There are some you can't. And Remember Titans is it. For honorable mentions, what did you have?
An Invincible.
Yep.
Longest Yard.
Okay.
Draft Day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Kevin Costner, greatest Browns GM ever. Not even close. He absolutely owned that draft.
And North Dallas 40.
Didn't have it because I haven't seen it.
Well, I think that was it was one of my dad's favorite movies, and I think I've seen that thing probably a good 30 times.
You definitely missed The Blind Side.
Ooh, I forgot about that
How
one.
do you miss The Blind Side? Again, being able to turn real life into the movie bumped it out of the top 10 for me. The Program, obviously, absolutely covers the dirty, sleazy side of college football.
Yeah.
Draft Day, Waterboy, Brian's Song, Invincible, and Radio. How do you leave out Cuba Gooding Jr.'s other football movie? From your honorable mentions, at least.
Well, when you go honorable mentions, you got to have to put a cutoff. I cut it off at 4. Each one of them, my honorable mentions, I cut off at 4.
I went to 7. I feel like there is a case for every one of those movies to be made to be at the bottom of the top 10. You know? So, like I said, I feel like that is a solid offering of football movies there. Again, you left off so many great football movies. You just got drubbed for the 3rd time. And
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
It's going to be a routine habit. But I think that covers our top 10 list for today. We got through that one a little quicker than we've been getting through the others.
Well, we pretty much agreed on a lot of them, different spots.
I think that helped for sure. I also don't want the top 10s to be taking up too much, so I'm not trying to sum up the movies too terribly much.
Right.
Like I did the first time through. So we're working on that. We're getting better for you guys. The boys are working hard to deliver a better product for you. For free, remind you. This is a free entertainment product, so do us a favor, share it with your friends.
Or we're getting worse if you like the first 2 and this one kind of fell off.
Fair enough.
Just let us know in the comments which way you want to go on it.
But we're through, I guess we're not technically through 3 games. It's about a little after 4 on Sunday. I don't know if the Patriots are done beating down the Chargers yet, but we've seen a pretty, what I would call uneventful set of playoff games so far through the first 3 for the weekend.
The Rams and Cowboys were a little more interesting of the other 2.
It got interesting towards the end, but again, onside kicks are darn near impossible to recover at this point with the ridiculous rules the NFL has put in place. Safety, schmafety. If you want to have that for every other kickoff, fine. If you're coming in and saying, yes, I'm kicking off onsides, then hey, you have to follow. Then the rules change. There should be a change of rules for a declared onside kick.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Make kickoffs great again. That's all I'm saying. Make onside kicks great again.
Although I did love the Colts onside kick attempt. You know what? We're not going to try bouncing the ball in the air. I'm going to kick it as hard as possible at you and hope it bounces off your body somehow.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good deal, but you know,
he just got out of the way.
Got it out of the way a little quick.
He's good at dodgeball.
Smart move. He can clearly dodge a wrench. He clearly can dodge a football. Well, it caught him a little bit, but yeah, that was surprising to me. mainly because I took the Colts minus the 5.5. I did cover the under on that game, though, so I did good there. I took the money line on the Rams, so that worked out in my favor.
Yep.
So even if the Cowboys had stolen a late touchdown, I'd have been fine. Because I did expect that game to be close, and I wasn't surprised that it was like that. I expected all these games to be close. I didn't expect any of them to turn out the way the first three have. Not surprised by Phillip Rivers choking in the playoffs once again.
He was surprised that the Patriots almost put up the line by themselves, though.
Yeah, I did take the under in that one, and yeah, the Patriots almost covered the over.
By now, they might have actually covered it over by now.
So I'm really counting on the Eagles to keep it within a touchdown, because I got the Eagles +8 against the Saints. All I need, stay within a touchdown, give me a winning weekend. That's all I ever ask for, winning weekends. So yeah, I think we can all quit pretending that the Patriots dynasty is going anywhere. That defense, somehow, you gave Bill Belichick 2 weeks to plan. He took full advantage of it.
This is what it was. Matt, I got a question for you.
That is not it at all, and I think we all know that by now.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick. I mean, again, they blitzed more than they did any other time this year. It's not even close how much they were blitzing today. They knew what every team knows against Phillip Rivers. Get him off his spot. Same thing you can do against Tom Brady. You get him off his spot and get him off kilter, and suddenly they're not nearly as good.
Right.
Shocker. It worked. Apparently, though, the Chargers didn't do any planning for a backup plan and didn't really try hard. So
this is one I think we talked about a little bit last week, where the Chargers didn't have that big fall yet this year. This was their big fall.
Yeah, they definitely failed on this one. But you're going to have that. What are you going to do? I think swallowing a little spit there. I think that'll be a good time to transition into. Really nervous here because it's not showing up on the meter anymore. So hopefully you guys heard that. Otherwise, you heard a lot of dead silence where I was trying to play the headlines / breaking news sound so you could know we were going into our headline segment. Todd, what did you bring in for us today? Hopefully a little better than Donald Trump this week.
Well, we got no sports ones this time.
Ooh, okay. We'll take that.
And we got 5 plus a bonus because in reading them, I was laughing my ass off on some of these I couldn't choose. But first one. Man in Florida gets pulled over, eats underwear to beat breathalyzer.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know, Bernie. What in the fuck was that? I have no clue. What on earth is in the crystal meth in Florida? I swear to God.
Well, I have questions.
I'm all about wanting to get out of a DUI. I go to very, very large lengths to get out of one if I ever put myself in that position. But thankfully for Uber and Lyft, don't put myself in that position. But if you were to put yourself in that position, I don't think anybody would think, let me eat my underwear.
Well, in reading the article, he was hoping that the cotton in the underwear would absorb the alcohol so it wouldn't be in his system at that time. And then it would dissolve later. That was his thinking behind it.
In other words, Florida. And we had zero chance of that being any better than it normally is.
Well,
so,
in reading this, I had other questions. Where did he?
You should have a lot of questions. Good God.
Well, first of all, where did he get the underwear from? Did he have extra underwear laying around in his car? Did he somehow get his friend to give him underwear? Did he somehow get his underwear off while the police officer was walking up to the car?
Again, I have no clue. I mean, Florida gonna Florida. We know this, but holy cow.
And if that's your thinking, why did you pick underwear? You had a shirt. You could have ripped the sleeve off a shirt and ate the sleeve.
Yeah, no officer ever would be surprised to walk up to somebody car in Florida and see somebody not wearing a shirt, by the way. Be like, okay. You see somebody eating underwear, though, you're going to be like, you're just going to sit there and be like,
What the fuck is that?
ooh, didn't like that at all. Hopefully that can be fixed a little in post. I doubt it, though.
That one, I said that was the first one, and I'm sitting there like, really? We really gonna do that, Florida? Let me eat some underwear to get out of a DUI.
Hey, I'm impressed. Sometimes you just have to go to whatever lengths there are going to be to get out of trouble, I guess. I mean, I knock no man's hustle. If that's his hustle, eating his
didn't say his underwear. That's what I said. That's the first one. Did not say his.
Fair enough. I guess that's the point. I'm assuming it's his underwear. I don't think he's driving around with extra underwear in his car. Like, I mean, I guess if you plan on getting arrested for DUI, maybe you do have just a brand new pair of tidy whities sitting in there, great old Fruit of the Looms. You're like, maybe these will taste good when it's time to eat them. Nope, not at all.
Well, then if somebody else was in the car with him, did he eat their underwear? Would you ever eat somebody else's underwear?
Yes, I would, but not to get out of a DUI. So, Florida go to Florida. Let's go to headline number 2. I think I'm just going to scrap the soundboard for today. We're just going to unplug it because it's not going well, and I just made a ton of extra noise for you people, so I'm going to mute it real quick, and then we should be all set. All right, headline number 2.
Okay. Well, fire warnings are all from Florida today.
I am okay with that. Florida's got a Florida, and I'll enjoy every minute of it.
Florida man in hospital attempts to smoke crack in ICU and almost burns the hospital down.
Props to this man. Obviously, if you're going to smoke crack, you're going to smoke crack a lot. He's not. Again, you've said you've damned your health already. Like, you don't give 2 fucks about if you're healthy or not. So, I will apologize. Not surprised that this happens. Again, Florida going to Florida. I think I'm going to repeat that a lot in this scenario. But you're in a place where pure oxygen is floating around constantly. Didn't you think the torch you have to use to light a crack pipe? Again, you can't just flick a regular Bic to light a crack rock. Okay? You have to have like a benzene torch almost going into there to have the high enough heat and a good enough flame.
Yeah, you seem to know a little too much about this one, buddy.
I worked at a jail for 5.5 years. Yeah, I've seen people get arrested with crack pipes and the matching lighters. Never a Bic. Never. Something about it'll burn their fingers because they have to keep it lit for so long. I don't know. Again, so what in the world?
Again, questions. Where did the crack come from?
Well, he either brought it with him as he went into the hospital, or, drug dealers do deliver.
I mean, but this is ICU. This is a little bit more. I assume when you're in ICU, they probably checked you. You're not wearing your own clothes anymore.
I mean, your clothes will be in a desk drawer. Or
again,
dresser drawer.
Again, ICU, you're not getting up out of your bed to go to the dresser drawer.
Depends on what you're in the ICU for. Not every single person in the ICU is connected to apparatus that keeps them tied to the bed. You can still be in intensive care without being bedridden. Also, if his drug dealer delivered to him, could have delivered it right to him bedside.
Okay.
Florida going to Florida. Number 3.
Okay. This is about a Florida man, but he was not in Florida when this one happened.
Doesn't matter. Still a Florida man.
Drunk Florida man attempts to ride bicycle through Taco Bell's drive-thru, fights police when they refuse to serve him.
Not all heroes wear capes. Sorry. I'm in the drive-thru. No matter what device I'm in the drive-thru. I'm there. I'm on a bike. I'm going to drive through. Doesn't say drive-thru in a car, does it? Nowhere on that drive-thru does it say car drive-thru. No, it does not. All they say is you can't walk through a drive-thru. He drove through. Same way you would drive through if you was on a motorcycle. You're going to not serve motorcycles? More people are starting to ride bikes everywhere. Sober people don't go to Taco Bell very often, particularly late night. So, again, the fact that this man was on his bike, that sounds like a Taco Bell problem. Sorry. Not all heroes wear capes, and this man is my hero for this week.
Well, now he's sitting in jail.
Boo.
Well,
I get it. He fought police.
Yeah.
You're going to go to jail. Police shouldn't have bothered him. Shouldn't have been bothered at all. They should have been yelling at the Taco Bell people. Like, the man's trying to drive through and get some food. Who's he hurting?
Well, he was drunk. He probably got a DUI on top of it.
If he's on a pedal
It's got wheels. It's got wheels.
Got to have a motor. You have to have a motor. Doesn't have to have much of a motor. Because trust me, they just arrested somebody in Indianapolis like a week and a half ago for DUI on one of those scooters. I know. It's like, wait, what? I could have got one of those? Like, whoa, you need to give us warnings on this stuff. Like, first off, I can only go 12 miles an hour. Shouldn't really be able to get a DUI at like 12 miles an hour. Second off, you gotta give a brother a warning on that. You can't just suddenly start arresting people for that. Like, that's like 90% of my drunk transportation now. Cities that have them.
I'm in shock you can get a DUI for most. I knew you could get one for a lawnmower, but the little lime scooter.
Yeah, no one should get on a bird scooter and think, "Man, I might get a DUI." Like, they're at Taco Bell. Probably a good 50% of their business is drunk people, and now the police are messing with it. That's not cool.
They called the police.
Well, I get it, but that's the Taco Bell employee just being an idiot. Just like, let the man have some tacos. He's drunk, clearly drunk. He just wants some tacos. Get the man his tacos, get him home. Number 4.
All right. Florida woman who is a stripper.
Oh, this is the Holy Grail. This is the Holy Grail, folks. Let's get excited. Let's be ready.
Accused of threatening a mass shooting at a police dog's funeral, gets bit by dog and is mad.
First off, this is peak Florida, right here. Stripper at a funeral, threatening a mass shooting. Can't get any more Florida than that. Then the fact that she gets mad because she got bit by a dog after threatening people at a police funeral. Like, girl, you deserve every bit of jail you're going to get. You clearly need jail. I don't say that a lot. She needs jail. I mean, Florida could be our Australia if we really wanted it to. It could just be our prisoners' colony. Probably save a lot of people a lot of effort in Florida. But that's peak Florida. Oh, my God.
That one, I said,
you just got to shake your head and be like, wow. You've raised / lowered the bar. I don't know how you would justify that. Like, you've set a new standard for what peak Florida is.
And the headline was funny because it says Florida women. Then in parentheses, it had to put stripper.
They did not have to put that in parentheses. They could have let you find that in the story.
No, but that's why the headline made it even funnier because parentheses, stripper.
The same way they put Florida person, Florida woman, Florida man in the headline now because they know people will pay more attention. They're like, oh, wait, this is Florida news? Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. Then we get Florida news and we're like, yes, it never fails.
Yeah, we're going through these quite quick today.
It's because they're not sending me on rants. They're just making me laugh.
Well, that's what I was going for, laughing today.
I think we need to laugh more.
Because I got 2, but I also had another bonus one that I read that I left off because I didn't think it was quite appropriate, but you'll find this one funny, too.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
Police dog dies of overdose after searching people off a cruise from Cuba.
Did the ship come via Colombia?
It said Cuba. Maybe they meant Colombia, but the headline said Cuba.
I'm sure if it was in the Miami area, it was probably Cuba. I'm just thinking it went from Colombia to Cuba and then to Miami.
It might have started in Miami, went to Cuba, and got back, and they still had some crack left.
Possibly. That poor dog, he didn't deserve that. I mean, he's just doing his job.
I mean, how much crack?
Granted, you out there snitching, you kind of deserve a little bit of what you're getting. Like, you have some free will as a dog. I've seen plenty of dogs have free will. Ain't nobody make you be telling. You're out there telling on people. I mean, hey. But sometimes life pays you back. But yeah, no, he didn't deserve that at all. Not at all.
No, this one just took right out of one of my favorite shows, Family Guy, where Brian becomes the police dog and he gets high off the cocaine and then looking for cocaine. Did they just steal Family Guy's headlines?
Sometimes I think these things just happen. I think, again, I don't know if Seth MacFarlane's a time traveler like Matt Groening, but hey, we might be onto something there. We might be getting ahead of the next one. Let's go back and watch the Family Guy episodes and see what other things might happen, so I might be able to make some money off of it. Man, way to punch your microphone there.
Yeah, that didn't really go very well because that was a loud ring in my ear.
It's all right.
Florida man arrested for trying to defraud the government on his marriage. Government accuses marriage is a scam for immigration purposes. At trial, he demands that the jury watch his sex tapes to prove it was really a marriage. That's how they'll see it's a marriage.
Again, sometimes you don't get the hero you need, but you get the hero you deserve. This man is the hero we deserve. Because at that point, first off, he should have never gotten to trial as they seen the somebody should have watched the sex tapes with him. Second off, kudos. Like, look, I'm getting it on the regular. Are you from your wife? No, well, sucks to suck for you. I mean, we clearly have consummated this thing. It may have been for immigration purposes, but we're definitely carrying it the distance. It's not just for immigration purposes.
Well, this one's going to go up because so far he's lost the 2 appeals that he's put that they say it's not necessary for him to see see the tapes, but he keeps appealing because he thinks once they see it, they'll see they really love each other.
I mean, what more telling of a way could you tell that 2 people love each other than that? I'm all for him. Let's go. Let's go. And then put me on that jury.
Sir, you can't be enjoying this. What? Well, are you not enjoying this?
Like, I have questions if you're not. I'm just saying. It's two beautiful people killing themselves on tape for your entertainment. Are you not entertained? I'm entertained. Oh, well. That's, again, and that's a little less Florida-ish and just more global-ish. But, hey, good.
Yeah, it was still funny. He keeps losing this, and it's like, that's all I got. Just like the NFL, Kaepernick's going to walk in, play the tape, case you win.
Which tape? He could play hundreds of hours of tape at this point. You see Blaine Gabbert here keep getting jobs, right? Yeah. Is that the worst? Oh no. You see Josh Johnson, who hadn't played in 7 years here, get a job and start in a week? Oh, does it get worse than that? Oh, just wait. I could do better. You see Mark Sanchez here? Mr. Butt Fumble himself? He got a... Him? Please tell me it doesn't get any worse than this. Oh, yeah. I've got one more. I'm going to take the cake here. Nathan Peterman. Not only did he get to keep being employed with one team, then he gets signed by another. They're like, holy fuck. Yeah. Sorry. You clearly were colluded against. You take the cake. You can have it. You won.
Ready for the last one I got?
Ready for the last one.
Florida man convicted of burying ex-reporter in concrete because he wanted his Magic the Gathering game cards.
Run that one by me again.
Florida man convicted of burying an ex-reporter in concrete because he wanted his Magic the Gathering game cards.
I have so many questions. Why did the reporter stop him from getting his Magic the Gathering cards?
No, the reporter's cards. He killed the reporter because he wanted his Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh, he wanted the reporter's cards.
Yes. So he killed him, put him in concrete.
I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, do it right. I mean...
You mean Jimmy Hoffa?
Make sure it's really hard to find them ever. I mean, he obviously didn't do it well enough.
Right.
They found him, so he made some critical errors, but...
Well, because I guess based on how I read the article, then the reporter had some rare cards, and he started playing them.
There's always a way. They always get you. Just take that as your life lesson right there. If you ever get to the point, and trust me, I probably get there once a week, that you think, maybe I should kill this person. You know, somebody driving slow in the left lane, doesn't want to move over, whatever the case may be for you. Usually it's the first one for me, because it's the only one I gave you, because it's the one that gets me the most. Where you think, man, maybe I should kill somebody. Just don't. They're going to figure it out. Like, CSI is over the top with how that works. It's not that good, but there's always going to be some way you slip up. Because the minute you think you've got something new, just understand the homicide detectives have seen it every single way. and they will figure it out somehow. Plus, if you've ever watched the first 48, somehow you're going to end up telling on yourself. That's usually what does it, more than anything. They get you into a room, you talk to the cops, you think, hey, I'll just straighten this all out and I'll be free to go home. Nope. You are going to prison.
You saying that reminds me of the Facebook grill I just seen. Man gets called from the police department. Police says, your wife was just murdered. Can you meet us at the crime scene? He pulls up. They arrest him on the spot.
Super easy. Didn't tell him where the crime scene was. How did you meet us at the crime scene? You fool. Don't ever. They're just, didn't HBO or 30 for 30 just do a documentary on one of the, when the Redskins did their big ticket raid with the DC area police, where they sent out the mailer saying, hey, you've won 2 tickets to the Redskins game, and nope. And one guy didn't show up, and they got him on there. Like, yeah, I knew it was a setup the whole time. Like, ain't nobody giving out that many Redskin tickets back then. Nobody.
Wait a minute. Put it this way. If you didn't apply to win Redskin tickets, and you just randomly get a letter saying you won Redskin tickets, or any tickets, somebody's setting you up.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. If it seems too good to be true, it is. And in this case, you're going to jail because of it.
And I can't believe that because they stole that from The Simpsons.
No. This happened in like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, okay. I thought
it's one of the few things in the world that predates The Simpsons.
I remember that in Simpsons. Homer showed up to get his boat, and they arrested him for DUI.
It's like, no. Yep. So that takes us through headlines. We've done our top 10. We've talked wild card football. Mm-hmm. We've talked my bad bets around not wild card football, divisional football round. I mean, we do have one game left to go. We get to see if BDN carries over for another week. I mean, this guy lives just a charmed life in the playoffs. Other than that, we have still no Manny Machado, Bryce Harper signings. They have to be happening soon, right? I mean, we're less than 6 weeks till pitchers and catchers report. We're not even. Oh my God, we're probably less than 4 weeks till pitchers and catchers report, roughly.
Oh yeah, just a month.
So
it's always right around Valentine's Day. So today's what, the 13th?
Did you just say Valentine's Day?
Valentine's.
I heard Valentine's Day. Y'all gotta let us know. Did y'all hear Valentine's Day? I heard Valentine's Day. Valentine's times.
Well, there's one thing we could talk about. You're hilarious. It snowed in Indiana finally, and nobody knows how to drive in the snow.
It's northern Indiana. It snows every year. Somehow, in the 6 months it doesn't snow around here, people forget how to drive in the snow. And when we're going to get pizza last night, I see come to the first corner by my house and go to stop at the stop sign, and lo and behold, the stop sign's not there. Look around, and it's on the ground. It had been there in the morning, not there in the afternoon. Somebody had hit the stop sign and took it out. If that was all I seen, it wouldn't even be all that eventful. Those kind of things happen. Hop a curb, take out a stop sign. No big deal. Slide on a little ice. Go 3 blocks down the road. To my left, I see a cop car. I wonder what's going on. I'm a nosy Pollock, like every Pollock snap to be. I slow down and look over. And at first, I can't figure it out, because I see a car away from the police car, but not quite looking like it's on the road. And I get a little closer, and the car ran into the building. People, it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all. Take off slower. Stop sooner. Be smooth with the accelerator and smooth with the brake. Don't try to turn while you're hitting the gas pedal or the brake pedal in the snow. You will get where you're going. Every time. That's it. I don't know if we need to create a PSA for that. I don't think we do.
I don't. You missed the other one. The car that popped the curb and broke something underneath their car because they couldn't drive anymore.
Forgot about the idiot by Walmart. Don't even know where he was going. There was nowhere for him to be turning there. I legitimately don't know how he ended up in that curb. I mean, must have just been hitting his gas too hard going up the hill. That's the only thing I can think of, is that he was sliding, kept hitting his gas instead of letting off his gas, as you should do, to let your tires regain traction. And then when he finally grabbed traction, he just curb broke. Dum-dums. This world's full of dum-dums, and I ain't talking about suckers.
And this was within a 15-minute span.
Yeah. It's within 3 miles of each other, all of this. It's preposterous. People, I'm going to laugh at you. I might even add you to Florida news if you keep doing that. I mean, luckily it's not supposed to snow again until next Saturday, so I have to wait a whole week, but what are you going to do? Don't know if we've got anything else to talk about. Penguins finally lost a game yesterday, and that's hockey talk. That's all I got for you. Blackhawks are terrible this year. Don't really care about any other teams in hockey, so I don't even pay attention.
We can attempt to piss you off.
With what?
The Bulls gave their head coach a raise?
I'd given up on... I really don't think these people want to listen to me yammer on about need to fire Garpax anymore. I've made my point over and over and over. And over and over and over. And over and over and over. And my position will not change until they are terminated. And it clearly is not going to happen anytime soon. Because they're allowed to give... I mean, granted, as you pointed out, when they gave him the raise, they made it cheaper to fire him next year if
right.
they need to. Because he's atrocious as a coach. But again, they shouldn't be the people making that decision to fire him or hire the next person, because they shouldn't get that opportunity at all. Their roster is poorly built for the modern NBA. They have literally traded and drafted to build a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's not how the game's played anymore. You do not need a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. You need somebody who can get you into your offense.
Correct.
A playmaker of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
You need wings.
Yep.
And somebody who can protect the rim.
Yeah.
That's it. But they need no defined positions. Some of these guys can even be the same guy. You can be a wing who also protects the rim and can be a playmaker. You can be all three in one. It's rare.
So you think Kevin Durant?
I would not call him a guy who protects the rim. But I'm just saying, he could if he chose to.
Right.
There are wings who do it. LeBron James is probably the closest I was thinking of.
Mm.
But even he selectively chooses when to protect the rim and not. So no, I don't feel like yammering on. I'm tired of giving them airtime. I'm tired of giving them airwaves.
Okay.
Sometimes, that's saying not all publicity is, bad publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
Mm-hmm.
I think they take that to heart because they just don't care. And again, the old adage of if you listen to the fans, you'll be joining them soon. True. However, I think any Bulls fan, and that's including those who might be 2 or 3 days old, could do a better job running an NBA franchise than these two clowns. Because it's not like we're saying, hey, listen to us. We're just saying, hey, do better.
Right.
I mean, other than, your absolute bomb of taking Wendell Carter Jr. over Michael Porter, not a lot I can say, hey, I'd do this differently or that differently. I mean, I wouldn't have made the same Jimmy Butler trade. I don't like the way that was configured at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't have given back a pick. I surely don't like Zach LaVine. I wouldn't have taken him as part of the deal. He's never going to be a winning basketball player. But then again, I read preposterous articles on Bleacher Report written by Chicago writers. Can Wendell Carter Jr. catch Luka Doncic for MVP? Or Rookie of the Year, not MVP. The answer is 100% no. He can't score 10 points on a regular basis. He's not getting double digits in rebounds, and he's playing 30 minutes a game. It's not like he's lacking opportunity. That'd be like asking you if Chandler Hutchinson, who's 4-4 per 30, somewhere between 3 and 4 per 36 right now. Like, this guy's not good at all. And he's a 4-year college player. He's going to make the pick of... Drawing a blank. I really hated the pick at the time. I hated it even more over time as it's aged because both of the guys we traded for him in that draft pick swap ended up being better. 3-point shooter. White kid.
Oh, Doug?
Doug McDermott. Yeah. Hutchinson's at risk of making Doug McDermott look like a good pick.
Oh. That was a low blow.
And it's not. It's not at all. He's not a good not a good NBA player. He's not athletic enough for the modern NBA. He's not big enough. He's not switchable. He's everything the Bulls are right now. He's a classic 3. Just like Zach LaVine is a classic 2. Just like Chris Dunn is a classic 1. Just like Lauri Markkanen is a stretch 4. Just like Wendell Carter is a classic 5. Guess what? We don't play basketball in the classical era anymore.
Trying to bring it back.
It's not going to work. Unless you've got LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan, then you can bring it back. They're the only team that can bring back the classical era in basketball is Spurs. And Jim Boylan, we're going to point it out to you again. You are not Greg Popovich. Not now, not ever.
The only part I agree with at some point is if you have Shaquille O'Neal, then you can play position basketball again. But
no, even him, you'd try to surround him with shooters so they could.
Well, yeah, but that's what
you'd want more shooters around him than you had then because he'd go off even more because you couldn't double team him all the time.
But that's what Orlando tried doing when he was in Orlando. Oh, we'll put Shaq in the middle and put 4 shooters around him.
I would not call Penny a shooter. Not young Penny, anyways.
Right. Okay. Oh well, but that was the point.
Horace Grant, when they got him there, wasn't much of a shooter either. I mean, he had a little pick and pop, but
right.
I mean, he's not a true stretch 4. When he stretched the imagination, he could hit the elbow jumper and the little 12-footer, but he wasn't, stepping out 18, 20, 22. So he wasn't, they were more classical than you give them credit for. They just happened to have 2 good shooters. Till they lost their shot. One of them, anyway, and it was awful. But, that's life. I don't have anything else to talk about this week. You?
No. Over under February 1st for the signing in baseball.
Where are we at today? The 13th?
Yeah.
We're at the 12th, by the way, not the 13th.
No, it's 13th.
Can't be. Yeah, it is the 13th. Oh. I can't, for some reason, can't keep my day straight right now. That's what happens when you work retail. You lose all your days. But anyways, I'm going to go with both of them, or can I call a push and say 1 over, 1 under?
You can go 1 over 1, but you got to say which one.
I think Manny Machado happens before. I think Bryce Harper happens after.
Okay. Put a little stress on me for the next couple weeks then. Waiting to see where Harper signs, because I know Cubs aren't really looking at Machado.
No, I don't think the Cubs are looking at anybody. I think their wealthy owners are being super cheap. So, what are you going to do? Tight wads.
Well, it's not only there. It seems like baseball's being awful cheap.
Well, yeah. I mean, revenue's at a record high, and they spent less on payroll than they did last year. Part of that is that the agents haven't yet to adjust to the fact that the owners and front offices have adjusted. You can't go into an offseason thinking you're going to get an 8 or 10 year deal anymore. They're just not. It's going to be very rare. I think we've come very close to seeing the end of those. I think you're going to see 5, 6 years.
Right.
I think with pitchers, you're going to see even less of those.
More 4?
More 3, more 4. Just because ultimately teams don't want to be on the hook for the end of that bad money.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think then that gets to have to be an issue that the Players Association has to push in the next CBA, their next CBA, and that's to push for getting to free agency sooner. You can't have these guys waiting 6, possibly 7 years of cost-controlled labor before they hit their first chance at dollars. Because in baseball, it's very seldom to drop before 23, 24.
Right.
So if you're not hitting free agency till 30, 31, why would anybody want to pay you till you're 40? They know they're buying your bad years.
Correct.
So this gets into a grander state of everybody has to adjust, and these players have to be willing to accept less years for more money, more dollars.
Mm.
And then the luxury tax has to be adjusted accordingly as well. I think that threshold's way too low. Or, depending on your viewpoint, too high. I mean, you could say that it's so high that it's not deterring teams from spending. But again, I'd rather see some more formalized minimums, maximums, so you can't have what the Marlins have done and other teams have done over the years in terms of just ditching absolute payroll to pay back debt from buying teams.
This is what, the 3rd time the Marlins did that? 4th time?
I mean, they tore it down after both of the World Series wins, but back then they didn't have a new stadium. They didn't. I think the problem is everybody overestimated how good fans would attend baseball in Miami. Like, it's Miami in summer. There are a million other things to do. Baseball should be the last thing on your mind.
And I agree. Well, same thing with Tampa Bay. That team needs to move somewhere. I don't know where it needs to go, but they don't have a fan base there.
No. Oh. Sorry, folks, if you're yawning in your microphone. But again, there's been a lot of technical glitches with. I don't think any of the soundboard audio I tried to use today made it on or anything else. So, Todd hitting his mic stand. Yawn, probably the least of your worries. But it's real, it's raw, it's very lightly edited audio just to try and make the vocalization sound a little better and a little louder than it records at so it doesn't pop as we record. Yeah, there's a lot of issues in baseball that need to be fixed. My honest answer, I'd contract 2 teams and be done.
Be interesting. It's an interesting thought, but nobody's going to give up their billion dollar.
No, it's not going to happen. So what should happen is that the Expos should get 1 team, Montreal should get a team, and then let baseball decide who gets the other. There's plenty of cities that could support another team. I don't know if Portland could. Charlotte probably could. Indianapolis could be in the running for a team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at some of your places and see where you could put a second team. But I definitely think Montreal, if they build them a new stadium, has earned the right to have a team. I think they'd show up in mass. The thing in Montreal was they were savvy sports fans. They just didn't show up for bad teams.
Right.
They just weren't watching garbage. When they were competitive, they showed up.
Yes, I know. We were there. We were one of the dozens of people where they claimed 5,000 people were in, and I don't know what they were counting.
Don't know either. We were definitely one of the dozens and dozens in attendance for sure. there were maybe 20 people in all of left field, and somehow we all almost sat together.
Yeah,
and there weren't many in center or right either. I mean, most people I think made their way naturally to behind home plate and down the baselines. Some of us just stayed where we were, made fun of Chipper Jones. What are you going to do? But I think this is a good point to call this episode. This has been Off Base Sports Podcast. My name is, as always, I'm your host, Jason Benicki. Please subscribe, rate, review on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox, Satchel, wherever you get podcasts, we're at. I also put the episodes up on the Facebook page, Off Base Sports Podcast. I put it up on my YouTube, JASONBANICKI. I also share it on my Twitter. Same thing, JASONBANICKI. And we will talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
Peace out.